Commence primary ignition.
Actor Chris Bartlett from The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you're watching Virtual Cantina Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of the Virtual Cantina Watch Along. We got a very exciting episode tonight. First and foremost, riding Chewy with me is Dave. How are you, sir?
Hello there.
Very excited about this episode because we are also simulcasting all over the ICCC net. We got Mr. Mike Havens with us. Mike, how are you, sir?
Well, I'm great, brother. Excited to watch some Mando and hang out with you boys.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. And for those who have not watched a watch along with us, well, welcome. A lot of shenanigans ensue, so be prepared for some fun. We are going to be watching the Mando Season 1 finale called Redemption, so please make sure that your Disney Plus machine is all queued up right at the Disney Splash before the episode. But, Mike, we are about a month and a half away from all being together in your backyard, even though you're from my backyard, but that's a story.
Originally Connecticut.
But yeah, so Mike, how do you
feel? All about the South, Spencer. It's all about moving to the South.
It really is, man. Beautiful weather. I don't even own a snow shovel anymore, man.
Well, Dave, you know that I'm going to move eventually. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if.
Florida is not the South, Spencer. Florida is just the North in the South. Florida is not the South.
Valid.
I'm sorry. But Mike, we're about a month and a half out. How are you feeling for this show so far?
No, it's great, man. 44 days. We're super excited. We're getting out. We just turned on the pre-orders, and we're also doing a Sendin service. So if you can't make it, you should make it, though. But if you can't make it, you can still get your autographs through the Sendin service. And the pre-orders for autographs and photo apps have gone live. If I could give a tip to any of your viewers or anybody watching right now, Billy D. Williams, he has very limited the amount of things he will do. So once he sells out, he sells out. He's not taking pre-sale autographs. He's only taking pre-sale for photo ops, and autographs have to be on site at the table. And they're extremely limited. Everybody knows, Billy D. Williams, he's 87 years old. He's a champion, but he's 87 years old. So, and this might be the last con he does this year. And then who knows, he was thinking about hanging up the con cape a couple years back, but I don't know. I don't even have to say this, but everybody has to, be patient and try their best to get in there when they can get in there. Don't be upset if, the photo ops or autographs sell out for him. He's doing us a favor coming and sharing the fandom, because there are more of us, and it's a wonderful thing. And I'm super excited about it. But yeah, I just saw the guy pop up there and he said, Billy D. Williams isn't doing pre-sales for autographs. That's because I can't turn on autographs for Billy D. Williams, him have like 5,000 autographs and then not be able to do it. How much is his autograph? Same price as his photo op. It's $300. That's his autograph price. I think it's like $40 less than it was at Celebration or something like that. So we're doing our best. But yeah, he picks the price, and it's to minimize the amount of traffic for him. You know what I mean? He's a super nice guy. It's not about that, but he has the same guarantee that he had 10 years ago. It's just the autographs have gotten more expensive.
Nope.
But everything's more expensive. When's the last time you bought bacon?
Well, that's the truth too. But yeah, Billy D, it's still, and even at his age, I got a Billy D not long ago, and it's a beautiful autograph.
Oh yeah, he's clean, beautiful autograph.
Old, and Do you know if, I don't know if you've had this conversation or not, if he'll be bringing like maybe in some of his art prints or anything like that for signing?
He'll be doing parts of his whatchamacallit, his panel will have the art involved. He is bringing the book and talking about the book.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's bringing any of his art, but I did happen to mention that I own art galleries, so maybe.
Cool.
That's my real life thing besides the trucking company. So yeah, maybe, man, that would be awesome. We are a very art-centric convention, you know. We love helping artists and making sure our badges are made by an inspiring artist and stuff like that every single year. And yeah, we're excited to talk to them about it at least. I don't know what it'll bring. Yeah, there you go. How nice is our art, right? That was Leah Elaine last year. And always remember, when you're walking around with an ICC Con badge at the con, there's always the badge designer somewhere on site at their table, and they'll sign those for free.
Very cool.
Which are it's absolutely fantastic. I don't think I'm trying to find that there's a listing of celebration prices through the years. I'm trying to find right now. I think that he was more than $80 in Chicago 2019, but I'm trying to.
I think it was in 2019 when he did the London one. I remember he was £335. So whatever the heck that comes out to in real money, I don't know.
So I was definitely thinking. Well, I mean, put it this way: you have at that time right there. He's come from LA. He's at his age. You know, they probably honestly had to pull their pants down in order to get him to go on a flight, let alone across the country. You're going pretty much from LA to London. You're going halfway around the world at that point. So he was rightfully so the priced at that point. Now, what was upsetting, unfortunately, at that time, was the fact that if you were at the the Jedi panel, he was not doing well at all. It was very sad to see him on stage. But when he was back on the Star Wars show stage, he was Billy D. Like, he was the man back again. Like, maybe he was awake at that point. I don't know, but but the first panel, the 40th anniversary panel, he was out of it.
Well, see, the difference with us is we don't push him to do way more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be difficult, but if you've ever done, any kind of stuff like that, I mean, they put you through the meat grinder, man. You're working all weekend really, really hard. And we've never been like that with any of our guest stars, but that's also why our guest stars usually tend to hang out with the fans and stuff at night. And it's because we're not like, you have to be here at 9 a.m. or else we're going to sue you. You know what I mean? We're not that kind of convention. But the thing is the attendees, aren't those a kind of attendees? I have never seen such wonderful, understanding attendees in my life. So, the only reason why I was saying it is because I just turned him on. I just turned the photo ops on, and he's going to sell out. I have no doubt. I'm not even worried about it because he has, I think his entire total is 400. So that's between autographs and photo ops. That's like zero. I mean, if you don't know, like William Shatner at the top of his game, he signs in about 7.5 seconds. So he would get 3 or 4 signatures every 30 seconds. A Shatner can sign 2,000 autographs a day. You know what I mean? In his prime. And those are the kind of things that, I just, here's the thing. If you're watching this right now, you're a legit nerd that's one of our friends or something. And if all the people in Nashville buy up these tickets before you get around to it, I do not want to hear I didn't tell you. That's what this whole warning is for. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be that guy, but,
And Billy D is not the Shatner, the 7 seconds look down at the thing. It's a beautiful interaction.
Yeah, and plus his signature says Billy D. Williams. It's not just some lines.
Oh, I know. Yes.
It's that's William Shatner's signature because it is, but.
So just let you know, he was $100 in Chicago 2019. So you look at from 5 years, he's jumped $200. Obviously, one, inflation, 2, the fact that Billy D was in Rise, that he has clout. His voice was in Rebels, right over there. So once you're in multiple properties,
He's in Lego too, wasn't it? That was his.
Yeah, he's now Two-Face in Lego just now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like the Ashley thing. I saw Ashley at New York Comic Con 2018, and she was $40. The moment that Ahsoka went live action, she raised her price because she wanted that Rosario money. It's understandable. Characters up there, people are going to want her autograph on the same thing as a Rosario if you're a collector like we are.
And what did she?
So
she was like $250 at the last celebration or something, right?
Well, pounds wise, but I just saw her at FanX Austin, and she was 120.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, she was. I think it was $80 or $100 at my show.
Yeah. But so anyway, once again, I just want to thank Mike for joining us tonight. We're going to be talking about ICCC throughout this entire broadcast. But we are also going to be watching at the top of the hour. We are going to be watching Mandalorian season 1 finale. So please make sure you have your Disney Plus all queued up. We're going to talk during that. But we got a whole bunch of announcements. Like Mike and I mentioned earlier, we're going to Oprah this ish tonight because you're going to get a guest. You're going to get a guest, and you're going to get a guest.
Yeah.
We announced earlier that we are going to be offering our 4th Boonta Eve special edition of this year exclusively to ICCC. So Dave, why don't you put up the first graphic of just what our post right there at Boom. Right there, we're going to be there on Saturday, October the 5th at ICCC. We will have, it's part mini-con, part karaoke dance party. It's going to be in the McGavick Hall. Is that correct? That's going to be the name of the panel room?
Excuse me. It's called the McGavick Ballroom, yeah. But
Excellent.
it's where we have all the panels and stuff. If people came to ICCC when it was there, it's the panel room.
Awesome. So we're going to have the main panel room. We're going to have a karaoke DJ. It's going to be a $10 cover, all ages from 8 to 11 that night. Come sing some karaoke. But in true Boonta fashion, we are bringing you 2 guests that are complimentary to 2 different guests that are going to be at ICCC that you can get dual shots and then some. So without further ado, Dave, why don't you introduce the 2 very special guests that we are bringing to Boonta Eve Special Edition Nashville at ICCC this year?
Absolutely great guests. I've recently met both of these guests and got to spend a lot of time with the both of them. They're fabulous. They're amazing. You're going to love them. Like Spencer said, you can get dual signatures or more with just the guests already announced at ICCC. And we are going to be having right here, Lauren Vogt and John Goodson. Lauren is a creature creator, makeup artist, fabricator, all sorts of things. She's done all of these creatures and more. She did the makeup for Ayla Secura. She has done the kind of stop motiony makeup-y effects for Walter Donovan in Indiana Jones. She's worked on Slimer in Ghostbusters. She is the creator and puppeteer of the chestburster aliens from Spaceballs. That's just absolutely cool. She applied and put on and did the makeup for Orn Frita, as well as many other things. She worked on Sally and the Nightmare Before Christmas. She's got a lot of stories about restoring some classic Star Wars costumes. Lauren, all sorts of greatness.
So if you look at that picture, we'll show you a little bit. Both Lauren and Amy have a shot on their table with the 2 of them on the picture together. So we'll show you what. So
this will be a thing that's available. These are some of autographs that have been gotten before. There's the Walter Donovan, this chest burster, and you can dual sign. Amy Allen's going to be at ICC during the day. We'll have Lauren at Boonta Eve at night. There's a combo piece right there, built absolutely in. And of course, we also have John Goodson. John Goodson is like got some absolutely amazing things. He's a fabricator and creator of models. He built the Razor Crest, RIP Razor Crest. Because we can't resist hawking the Trek. He is the creator of a number of models of the Starship Enterprise. I think most famously the E, the 1701E. He worked on Back to the Future. He created, you can see him with there, the for Ahsoka's ship there, and just tons of great stuff. You can see some of his autographed pieces here. These are some of the great 8x10s that he has him with the Razor Crest. And is that Doug Chang with him right there?
A great shot of him with Doug Chang with talking over the Razor Crest.
Yeah, you can get Doug Chang at other cons. You can start a piece, but right there with the Razor Crest, you've got a perfect opportunity to go ahead and get Brendan Wayne to sign that as well. Here in the bottom, that is the speeder. That's that Anakin appropriates at a certain point that he designed as well. So you got all of these choices and all of these things. And if you're looking to get like ICCC, one of my favorite things about it as a collector is it is a toy con, right? It's booths of toys, new, vintage, always. If you're looking to get something like physical signed, there's always a choice like this. You get this, and there's your John Goodson autographed right there. This would be perfectly appropriate to go ahead and get Brendan to sign as well, because, there he is right there.
Sure enough.
So,
well, I think it's extremely appropriate that the episode that we're watching tonight, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but the episode that we're watching tonight, it shows how Pedro Pascal is going to just be in the voiceover booth and Brendan Wayne is the Mandalorian now. So that's pretty cool, I think.
So I want to first say is that I'm going to put a bounty out there to anybody. The first person who comes to Boonta Eve with their HasLab Razor Crest and has it signed by John Goodson and Brendan Wayne. I'm talking the HasLab version. I will buy you your first round at the bar.
Nice.
So I'm telling you right now, it has to be the HasLab version. But I will say that autographs.
I could have just taken this.
How many drinks have I bought you over the last couple of years? But autographs for both Lauren and for John will be $40 each and include a free selfie, which is a great price for both of them right there. So you can get a whole bunch of autographs. Not $1,000 drink. Your first round.
Pretty damn close by the time you.
Yeah, you should have qualified that to the well, brother.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. So.
It is a 4-star Sheridan, man. They got that top row where it gets rough.
Watered down stuff.
There you go.
But tickets for Boonta Eve, we're doing a pre-sale of autographs as well as Dave. Why don't you show our exclusive Virtual Cantina ICCC T-shirt that goes on sale as well tomorrow?
Because we can't do an event without a shirt.
Nice.
That we roll. Here it is you can get this right there. All right. We got ICCC. We've got the lovely artwork of Ezra, like grumpy older Ezra. It's just so much fun.
That's perfect, man. That screams Nashville right there. I'll tell you what.
Absolutely. You've got the Mando tar or whatever you look really close. That's the is it a mandolin maybe?
Yeah, mandolin. I like it.
Mandolin. It's the shape of a guitar pick too.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's on the big guitar pick. Yep.
So right there alone. So tomorrow, starting at 12 o'clock Eastern, you will be able to buy your Boonta Eve tickets, your T-shirts, as well as start to pre-order your autographs with Lauren and with John. We are also going to be offering a send-in for both of them as well, which will go up tomorrow as on a different page. But we will have an article, which I'm going to be sending over to Mike right after this episode, which will have the link of everything for tomorrow. They'll go up tomorrow as well as on all of our social medias that you can get ready for the, like I said, the after party with the most on Saturday night with us at the virtual cantina. And we will also have a virtual cantina booth at the con as well. So we're very excited about that. But yeah, right there alone.
Well, also, when you send it over to me, I'll put it in a blog post on the newsfeed. So it'll be right there on the top of the newsfeed too.
Fantastic.
On the ICCC website, so they could get to you from there or whatever.
Right. So right there alone, you've got some ILM legends. And if you watch the Light and Magic documentary that's available on Disney Plus, John Goodson is all over it. And if you were also at the Mandalorian experience in Anaheim in 22, John's Razor Crest and Ahsoka's ship were on display in that little section, in that area where they had all the props and stuff. So John actually brought those down, and boy, does he a lot of stories and a lot of things to talk about. We just had him on our show a couple of weeks ago before we saw him in San Francisco watching Star Trek First Contact, because he did all the models for that movie. And just the stories are absolutely fantastic. But yeah, very excited to bring 2 ILM legends to ICCC this year.
I'm fired up about it, man, because I'm excited because it keeps the party going at night too. You know, that's what we like to do at ICCC. We like to. It's not like convention programming during the day. We really want the clubs and the groups and stuff like you guys and other clubs to really take the reins and run with it. You know, it's very, very exciting because then we all bring in our own 2 cents, if you know what I mean. You know, and it comes out really, really nice. So I'm excited, dude. I'm fired up.
No, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Swag meetup that you guys had over there took up. I mean, there were people. I want to say that was at least like a quarter of the con floor is swag meeting up.
Oh yeah, like I mean, where you guys are, you're doing your virtual cantina, but literally right outside the doors of that is going to be the lobby and room sales all night. And it's essentially everybody that stays in the hotel comes down and buys, sell, and trades. I wouldn't be surprised if Boonta Eve is ridiculously packed, like, you know, trying to get people on a Japanese subway, you know what I mean, where you're just pushing from the back. And it's just, it'll be a great time, man. Everybody loves hanging around there. And you know, that's the spot. It's the spot.
We need somebody getting up and singing "Saga Begins" or "Seagulls Don't Touch Me" or something of that nature. You know, Yoda.
I'm pretty good at singing Sinatra, if that helps in any way. But that's about as far as I go.
We don't hate. You know, come get some autographs, do some karaoke. We'll have some Boonta Eve merchandise for sale, and we also have some specialized swag that's only going to be available in the Boonta Eve room. So it will not be available at our table. Ooh. And if you were at our family vacation in California 2 weeks ago, it's another piece of the Link Up puzzle patch that we did in California. Nice. Now it's autonomous, but it can link into the California patches, which is great, which is something we're trying to do with our events stuff like. But excited, exclusive swag, exclusive T-shirts, great signers. If you were with us in San Francisco, you met Lauren and John, great stories. Dave spent some time with Lauren. He was our handler. She's got some great stories for you. John's got amazing stories. But we're just about at that time. So don't forget, we are about to start watching Mandalorian Season 1 finale. So please queue up your Disney Plus machines. And whenever you're ready, Mike. Whenever you're ready, Dave.
I'm ready. Just tell me when to hit play.
All right. We're ready to roll our countdown starting now.
So great question from Louis Underwood right here. Will send-ins be available through ICCC or VC? So as Mike mentioned at the beginning of the hour, there will be send-ins definitely for the ICCC guests. However, we will be doing our own personal send-ins for Lauren and John. They'll be autonomous. However, if you want to get Amy on an AS Sakura that Lauren's signing, or if you want to get Brendan on something from the Razor Crest that John Goodson is signing, we will do a co-sign for you with those actors to get you a dual sign of what we're doing at Boonta. So, send in sales.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
So send in sales for Boonta Eve will start tomorrow on our page, which we are, as some of you might know, the proprietors of the world's largest Star Wars Celebration fan page with just under 69,000 members worldwide.
The pre-orders are already up. You can go on ICCC, icnashville.com, and pre-orders are up, and so are the send-ins. The send-ins are being done through my wife's toy store because one of the guys will take care of it. Very nice for you, and they already have like an entire shipping department with like packaging peanuts and whatnot. But it makes it not my problem, which is nice.
Perfect.
So I don't think I've
Right,
watched.
is it saying Star Wars for everybody else? Did I do the right thing?
Yes, I just saw Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like now it says engines roaring.
So
and right there's our timestamp right underneath me, so that's pretty darn close to where we ought to be right now. It's about the one.
I'd have to do math for that. I can't figure that. There's a little Grogu hanging out at a biker scout thing.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at.
You know, one of those biker scouts is what's his face, Paul Rudd.
What?
No, it's Adam Pally. It's Adam Pally and Jason Sudeikis.
Look up, what is it? Paul Rudd. Look up Paul Rudd biker scout on something. I thought the biker scout that punched Grogu was Paul Rudd. Am I wrong?
It's Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis. Now I got to look it up.
It was Jason Sudeikis and the comedian Adam Pally.
Yeah, I know Adam Powell.
Yeah, but this is some of the best, like, tongue-in-cheek fun of Star Wars right here. It's just like,
oh yeah, Jason Sudeikis. That makes sense. All right, fair enough. Yeah, my bad. I was definitely wrong. I confused the two guys. My bad. I've been doing a lot of guest stars lately.
Yeah, well, you know something? They both don't age, so there you go.
Valid.
The whole joke about here of them, missing, the can. They're trying to shoot the can here. It's kind of like, okay, we get it. You're making fun of the fact that stormtroopers can hit Jack.
I like that though, man. The little joke with the, I like those kind of things. They had a couple of those in Acolyte that I liked. With even like he was walking around the cave thing and he was like, I got a bad feeling about this. I like those.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome how they can show so much expression through masks.
I think it's the first time since it debuted I've watched this episode.
Well, it's the thing is they're so much physical acting. There's like, oh, we're shaking the gun. Oh, we're just like cocking the head to the side a little bit to just go what? Yeah, that's acting right there.
Yep, for sure. If you could do it completely covered head to toe, you're great at it.
So, Mike, you were obviously talking at our last time we had you on, and also at on other podcasts on you're touting the direct flight from England to Nashville, and holy crap, your lineup! It's basically like, okay, let's go to Heathrow and have a party plane. Like, wow,
that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Incredible.
But that's what separates us from other cons. We have a different group of people that can come to this one, and it's just because I just got lucky, man. It's because everybody over in the UK just absolutely loves country music. So Nashville does very, very well with UK tourism. So yeah, we have a direct flight. It's like 8 hours straight shot.
That's fantastic. I mean, your OT lineup from the UK alone is absolutely insane.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a signer's dream. A lot of it. I mean, the fact that you obviously headlined by Billy D and Warwick, some fantastic right there alone. But then you got Dennis Lawson, you got Angus, you got Garrick, just right off the bat, you got some of the Rebel Fleet. If you had that 3-pack of Rebel Pilot Funkos, it's Wedge, R.I.P. Porkins, and Biggs.
Yep.
So you can typically get those two signed. Like I got those signed in London, but you can get those two signed on that Rebel 3-pack of Funko right there. And then obviously eventually get like David Akram, to sign it in that third spot. But I mean, then you got Paul Blake. Guido is always good. I actually when I first met Paul, I had him write "I shot first" on my Funko, and he tried to argue with me. I'm like, if you asked the maker, you shot first. I'm sorry, it's special edition.
He never shot first.
I know.
There's Moff Gideon. This was a cool scene, man. With everybody standing around in the courtyard.
Oh yeah.
Cara Dune was cool there.
All 501sters staying there.
All 501st, yep. That is very cool. But it would be nice if they were like one 501st from each state or something like that.
That would be fantastic.
Because that's like all 501st dudes from like SoCal.
Yeah. So let me ask this. So obviously the antithesis of your last year's show was obviously Rebels, and initially unfortunately, and he canceled. Freddie was your anchor, but you still had the rest of the ghosts at that time. What was your thought process going into building this year's show?
What I was going for is, all right, it's the Imperial Commissary Collectors Convention. That's what it stands for. Now, my favorite of the bad guys or the Mandos or anything, I really like knights growing up. So anything that kind of looks like a knight, stormtroopers, biker scouts, whatever, they have the helmet. And so I've always gravitated towards that personally. I mean, I think we've had 4 guys that have played Boba Fett and, tons of stormtroopers. I can't even tell you how many stormtroopers I've had, whether they're shock troopers or stormtroopers or nope troopers or snow troopers or whatever. Because those are the ones that I like. I've even had death troopers. I just saw death troopers pop up on the screen. But all those have always been me. So this year I figure, all right, Star Wars is all about the Empire and the Rebels, right? So what I did is I went with the Rebel Alliance this year. So that's why we have all these troublemaking rebels coming to the show. But that's why most of the older guest stars, the 4, 5, 6 guest stars, are rebels. They're either Admiral Akbar or Garrick Hagan or you know what I mean? They're mostly all rebels. Chris Parsons got in there, but Chris Parsons, I met him one time at a con that I was actually signing at in Mexico, which was crazy because I never thought I'd be signing at a convention. But I did sell 5 signatures in Mexico, so I got that going for me. And but I met him there, and I've been telling him he could come for like 3 years, but it never connected. But so that's why, like, even you go into Two Tubes and stuff like that, Aiden Cook, I mean, they're all rebels. So yeah, if you look around it, Warwick's a rebel, Billy D. Williams is a rebel. This convention is the Rebel Alliance from 4, 5, 6.
Very cool.
And that's just because I like the bad guys and I get all the bad guys usually. And
well, and you still snuck a few in. Okay, you've got the move along stormtrooper. It's like,
Well, yeah, but that was just awesome, man. I love guys like that,
Yes.
Yeah, but 1 or 2 here and there. And I really wanted to focus on. Here's the thing: 4, 5, and 6, I absolutely love. I love the new stuff too. The new stuff, I don't know, guys. All right. Just after I did the Clone Wars, right, where I had all the Clone Wars people for like the first time in 10 years that they bothered even being together. And then all of a sudden, every convention in the world, they did the Clone Wars people. It was one after another after another. They had the same exact room I had that I put together because they weren't really working together, and then they all came under, even the agency that picked them all up was at my con, and that's how they got all 4 of those Clone Wars people. So that's what happened with that one. The Rebels, the reason why I did Rebels is because they were coming out with Ahsoka, And I knew the Rebels were going to be in Ahsoka because I'm a legit nerd. You know what I mean? So that's how these things happen. They kind of happen out of what's going on. Well, what's been going on recently is, a lot of different things with the Acolyte and a lot of changes with Star Wars and a lot of different things. But the people still love that 4, 5, and 6 so much. And these 4, 5, and 6 actors are not only hardly ever signed in America, but because everything was made in England back in the day, but also, I mean, I don't want to miss the chance. You know what I mean? We only started ICCC in 2018. And I want to meet Greedo, I met Greedo already, but you know what I mean? Like, I want to meet these people. I want their autographs. I want to show them around Nashville. I want to give them a pulled pork sandwich. It was funny. One year, our food didn't show up for the VIP or for the guest stars. And so we went out and we got all the guest stars Sonic. But it's hilarious because they don't know what Sonic is because they're from England. They loved it. They're all eating chili dogs and they're like, tater tots are so good. It's hilarious. So I really like that, man, because they come and they're already on vacation in America from England. So that makes their smiles bigger and it makes their interactions better. So yeah, that's what I go for. I just look at all those pictures, man. I'm looking for smiles. That's all I'm going for.
Yeah, and you really kind of hit the wave ahead of schedule too, because since ICCC last year is the Rebels crew has been touring around and hitting all kinds of cons.
That's the thing. But the reason why is because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So what do? I do stuff that fans want to do, and then all of a sudden the other conventions do it because they go, "Oh, that's a good idea." After a season of Ahsoka comes out, and all these people are in it. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I don't mind. Hey, we were the first convention to come back out of COVID, and everybody was saying, "No, don't do it." But we followed all the rules and regulations, and we did it. And I want a giant. I don't think it's here, but I'll have to find it. But I want a giant Super Bowl ring for that, man. They took me out in Vegas, and they gave me Convention Promoter of the Year. But without that, we didn't have any conventions for 2 years at that time. I think it was. But that's just because we're fans. We're not corporate. So we'll figure out a way. I mean, a tree grows in Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
So we had a great question from James Wilson. Will there be a dual op between Garrick and Dennis?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm working on it. What's going on is we'll have to tell you, I guess, at the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
But what's going on is we're trying to keep checking the pre-sales and on-site for updates to photo ops and autographs. I'm not done releasing stuff yet. I usually like to get everything released, but we have so many guest stars this year, as you can see from the frame, that I haven't run out yet. So I still got 3 or 4 left. And then after that, you'll start seeing some dual photo ops and stuff like that.
I feel like,
and maybe even quad photo ops I
feel like we're in Hollywood Squares right now.
It's cool.
There we go. We are watching the emotional, seeing this, den.
Baby Mando.
Baby Mando.
So you have the Purge going on right now, and you got, Death Watch, basically saving Baby Jar.
Do you know you could tell Boba Fett never saw this show? Because that Mandalorian was just surrounded by bad guys and he used his jetpack to fly above them.
It's no. Why would you do that?
That was the one thing that really drove me nuts about the Boba Fett show, man. He never just used his jetpack to fly away from the bad guys.
He didn't run away.
He'd always be surrounded and it'd be what do I do? And it's use your jetpack, bro. It's right there.
Well, what happens to Din Djarin for a while in the early thing is Din just sits there and takes it. Strategy is I'm just going to get shot a lot. Oh.
That's cool. He's like one of the, the boxers or whatever that just take the beating until the other person is tired and then just go and they fall over,
Yep.
Yeah, you see him Moth R.I.P. Carl Weathers, Grief Karga, drinking some Spaka.
That's a bummer about Carl Weathers. This is a good one too. This is where he does the baby do the hand thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is a good episode, man. This is a great episode.
Yeah,
And IG-88 is legit. Well, IG-11.
Well,
Yeah,
he's a genius, and also, the extra scene.
A little bit dangerous to have the baby right on his chest as he's getting shot at, but
Yeah, but he's great. He's got it, man. Did you guys used to play Shadows of the Empire for Nintendo 64? You remember fighting IG-88 in that thing? It was horrible. He moved like IG-11.
So there's a question here: is if you were planning to bring anybody from Resistance? Shame, fantastic. Shame you were not at Boonta Eve LA a couple of weeks ago, because we had Christopher Sean, Kaz.
Nice.
We actually brought in Kaz along with his on-screen father, Nelson Lee, who played Senator Ziono in Ahsoka, and it was the first time they ever met.
That's cool.
Same city.
Yeah.
The father
that was
first
shenanigans all night long, the two of them sitting together.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not this year. The thing is here's the thing. Celebrations in Japan, which is awesome. I'm going to be there. I'll see you guys there for sure. But that really makes it like a vacuum for Star Wars in America.
Yeah.
So I have so many guest stars, folks, that I can it wasn't even picking and choosing. It was just like trying to be as nice as possible to everyone. You know what I mean? So I'd love to have 1 million guest stars, but no, that's what next year is for and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But no, this year I do not have anybody from the Resistance.
That's awesome that you're playing Call of Duty with Chris last night and talking about our event. Thank you very much. I know Chris is actually at Mohegan Sun, Connecticut this weekend as part of Terrificon.
Yes.
Man, Terrificon used to be so tiny and then it exploded.
Yeah.
It got huge, which is really cool.
It's a unique location, especially you're having a Mohegan Sun. I mean, I know, I'm stepping out of the con hall to go grab some food, and I'm passing by 7,000 slot machines. I'm like, I just want to go get a slice of pizza. I don't want to go waste the rest of my money.
Oh, you got to go back 7,000.
Well, you also got to park in Antarctica. That's the thing. I'm from Connecticut, and I used to go to Mohegan, and I used to go to Foxwoods. And nobody goes to Mohegan that likes to gamble, because what you do, you go to Foxwoods, and they got a parking garage right near the gambling area.
Yeah.
And as Mohegan Sun, you got to park way out there and then walk. But it's neat. I mean, if you're going to walk around like it's a fancy mall, it's neat. Mohegan Sun is better.
So Mohegan actually has, I don't know if you've been there in the last couple of years, but they actually built a convention hall right by the hotel. So
that's nice.
A little bit better now. I
think I went there. I did go to Terrificon, but it might have been 4 or 5 years ago now. So you might be. It might have been a different place. Yeah.
And if you are at Terrificon this weekend, go look for one of our fellow hosts, Ashley Brienzo at Ashley Brienzo Art. I'm not sure where her booth is, but I think she put that out on last night's episode of Rebels Revisited. Not last night, this week's episode of Rebels Revisited, maybe. So look for it. Look for Ashley out there.
So like we mentioned before, Boonta Eve, we will be having 2 guests. We're bringing Lauren Vogt and John Goodson from ILM. Perfect opportunity to get dual signed stuff from actors that are at ICCC, including Amy Allen and Brendan Wayne. But don't disappear on us now, because Mike might have a little something while we're waiting for the incredible extra scene in this episode. So, I see people kind of dissipating, but you really shouldn't be dissipating, because you're going to be late to the dance.
Oh yeah, you don't want to hear this announcement. This is an important announcement at the end there.
Well, it's a really good one. It'll also answer some photo opping questions and whatnot. Look at him. I like him. The what is he? The Flame Trooper or whatever?
Do they call it Incinerator Trooper?
Is it Incinerator Trooper? Yeah. Those are cool. I think I even bought the Hasbro one of him when it came out.
They came out with the bucket as soon as the episode came out.
I didn't
Oh,
get the bucket. They got me on the whatchamacallit, the Ahsoka guys.
Oh yeah,
I literally just got those.
he does look a lot like the kind of zombie trooper.
He does a bit, yeah.
But yeah, and you know,
No,
if you're
no, Jeff, it's not Flame On. It's not Flame On. It's Avengers Assemble. God, get it right. No, just kidding.
But like the number of buckets that you could bring to ICCC this year and have signed is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, if you look at all the characters too, I always try to make sure that they have a toy. Here's the thing. I love autographs, and autographs are great. And they're great on 8x10s. And if you're an 8x10 autograph collector, that is wonderful. I personally am not. I'm an autograph thing collector. Here.
Look at the stuff behind me.
Like, look at this nonsense. That's a baseball signed by Jeremy Bullock. You know what I mean? Like, because who has a baseball signed by Jeremy Bullock? But I do.
Perfect.
So it doesn't even have to be something. But yeah, lots of them, most of them
I
have
remember when I first started
toys.
getting
Yeah, is
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
when he was announced,
all
I went
these
ahead
characters,
and
I mean-
ordered a Power of the Force Admiral Akbar in the package. That's going to be great for signing.
Yep.
I've
And
got,
shoot, when's the last time Tim Rose was in
and
America?
I'm very excited because one of our Boonta London guests, a celebration, I think maybe 2017 or 2019.
I only got London guest 2019.
6
you're
years.
breaking up again, Spencer.
Adjust the antenna.
Yeah,
That's right. We got a good part.
we do. That's the
No, but I was
deal.
You ready? We're about to watch the part where Brendan Wayne
I'm
becomes
very-
the
so I'm-
Mandalorian.
Yes. I'm very excited because you have actually one of our guests from our Boonta Eve London, Brian Muir, coming in, who was the designer of the original Vader helmet for A New Hope. And both Brian and his wife, Lindsay, are absolutely lovely. We spent a lot of time with them in England at Boonta London. So I'm very excited to see them again.
They're one that usually doesn't come to America as well. And I talked them into it because we have so many 501st and stuff that come. And essentially, if it's Darth Vader's helmet, is his thumbprint is Darth Vader's nose. Like, it's crazy. He made the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones. He made even all the way up to the Ministry of Magic in Harry Potter. He made like all the fireplaces and stuff. His career is crazy. If you ever go to Brian Muir's website and just check out what he's done, it's bonkers. It's like eight James Bond movies and like everything. Jurassic Park, Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the guy who made the space jockey, that giant space jockey gun for Aliens, where the dude's sitting in that giant gun for Alien. But his props and displays and armor are amazing. And yeah, that one's more for me, guys. Because, I told you, I like the knights and the armor and stuff like that. So I really wanted to meet him too.
Vader helmet signed. You can get your Stormtrooper helmet signed. You can get your Din Djarin Mandalorian helmets signed. You can get what else is
Wedge.
going?
Wedge's bucket.
God.
If you can zoom on his picture, wherever his picture is, every single thing on there, he has created. Death Star droid, Harry Potter, bunch of Harry Potter stuff. I can't really see it. It's really tiny. I don't know.
Yeah, it's small on the thing. We can't. It's hard to zoom in the.
But I highly encourage anyone to go to Brian Muir's website. I went to it when I was building that graphic, and it's crazy, man. Labyrinth, Kroll. He designed Kroll's like secret lair.
Yeah,
Let's also talk
it's
about
really
the fact
crazy.
that we got
Wedge helmets.
Let's
There's,
talk
I
about the
think.
fact that Timothy Zahn and Mark.
Oh yeah.
Timothy Zahn and Mark Thompson. Yeah. I'm putting them right next to each other too. That one's again. I'm telling you, it's because of me. It's my own personal whatever. Timothy Zahn, I absolutely love. I literally have a Timothy, my Heir to the Empire book right here that I've obviously read 8 billion times. that I got signed by Timothy Zahn in 2017 at Celebration there.
Yeah.
But I love Timothy Zahn, and then because he kept Star Wars alive during the dark times. And then you got Mark Thompson, who's the voice of Thrawn. And actually, here's a little secret Easter egg. Nobody ever calls a convention phone number, ever. Which is hilarious. Now they're all going to call it. But I talked to Mark Thompson, and I got him to do the voicemail for the convention.
Oh.
So if you call the convention phone number, it's Mark Thompson as Grand Admiral Thrawn telling you about ICCC. It's really nice. But that's what you always want to look for at this convention. There's Easter eggs, because we're like serious fans. So there's lots of things. I remember there was one year where we hid, I think it was 85 vintage hammerheads. And they had a little tiny note that said, "Congratulations, you found an ICCC hammerhead. Take him home with you and make sure you take care of him." And that was, we hit them like all over the place. So you'd just be walking around, there'd be like a hammerhead on like, I don't know, the porch, and you pick it up. But yeah, always look for Easter eggs at ICCC. We love them. It's like, I don't know. You guys know how it is. You fast forward through a certain part of a movie and all of a sudden there's something cool that not everybody knows about.
So when you got that sign from Timothy Zahn, was that pre or post the $75 orange chicken?
It was totally at that one, dude. And it was $35 orange chicken. I don't want to lie. But no, it was no, you know what? I walked in and I saw Timothy Zahn first, dude, at that. Because I was most excited to meet Timothy Zahn at that time. You got to understand, well, you guys know how it is. You're the right age demographic. But between like 1986 and 1996, there was nothing Star Wars except for Timothy Zahn, Bendham's, Kevin J. Anderson books, and that's it.
Yeah,
so
I came in that time. I came to Zahn through the comics adaptation of Heir to the Empire.
All right. But Heir to the Empire, phenomenal story.
Oh, absolutely.
The whole trilogy. They should have just made that into movies. You got me sold.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that, and this, we've had multiple conversations about this. Heir to the Empire, for our age demographic, is revered. If they F that book up on the screen, they're going to have a bunch of middle-aged people, Gen Xers, who don't give an F coming after you. So it's not
but kind of that's what the sequel trilogy did too. So
I was trying to sit here not saying it, man, but I mean, they were like, "Hey, your hero's been Luke Skywalker for 40 years. Here he is. He's a bum on an island that drinks milk out of this cow beast thing on the wall."
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing. So Celebration Orlando 17 was my first celebration in itself. Not only was my first pop experience at that celebration getting the Thrawn exclusive, but my first ever celebration autograph was Timothy Zahn.
Awesome. That was my first ever celebration autograph, Timothy Zahn.
Very good. Yeah.
Hey, look at that, buddy.
And I got the Thrawn book, and I got the pin too, because the pins were going like crazy. Like I took the pin, I put it on my lanyard, and someone in the bathroom said to me, because people wanted that pin, it was exclusive. "What do you want from him?" I'm like, "You can't afford him." He's like, "Try me." I'm like, $500. He's like, "What? You're crazy." I'm like, "Dude, you asked me for a price. I gave you a price. If you're going to pay me $500 for my pin while I'm at the urinal, that's on you, not me."
Well,
yeah, Jeff, but the Power of the Force figures, if you'll remember, when Power of the Force came out, was not overly revered by adults because they're huge, hulking, giant-shouldered, Now we look back on them with nostalgia and go, "Oh, it's Power of the Force." It was good. At the time, it was What's up, Hunter? But celebration autographs. I came to the party like late. I'm trying to remember what the first one I got was. I think it was Tamora. I think that was the first one that I got there. But that was a big con because I got in the same day, I got like Tamora and Daniel Logan and Dickie Beer and Ewan McGregor. And anybody who's been around the channel knows what happened when I got the Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
The same thing that happened to me when I promised myself that I was not going to pull a David O'Neill was when he says, "Hello there." We both fangirl and go, "Hi."
Lost.
He did it first, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Ewan came the following year to Nashville, Boston. He said, "Hello there," and I'm like, I'm ready to say Gerald Kenobi. I'm like,
nope, couldn't say it. Couldn't come out. Didn't do it. Yeah. What's up, Mark? We were talking about like our guests that we're gonna have at Boon. Ooh, Tim Rose is a good one for first.
Hey, nice.
That's a great one.
Yeah. And we just missed. Well, it's a new place.
Let's give it up. Let's give it up right now to
time for ICCC, but the Armor's Forge playset was announced at San Diego.
Yep.
So
they don't bring us exclusives because I don't know if you guys know this, but even those Funko Pops, you know, the minimum is 60,000 for those exclusives.
But you make your own. You commissioned your own lightsabers. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's the thing. We Tree grows in Brooklyn, brother. We have the this year our I don't know if you've seen them yet. I only put out the poster so far, but our convention exclusive figures, we're going with a mashup of Star Wars and Reservoir Dogs. If you remember the Quentin Tarantino Reservoir Dogs. So we have a Mr. Black, which is Darth Vader. We have a Mr. White, which is Stormtrooper, and then we obviously have a Mr. Pink, which is Boba Fett. But those are really, really cool. And we are making one you can pre-order on site. And this is a trip. This is something that would never be allowed if it was anything to do with corporate. But we have Ron Rudat, who is the guy who designed 90% of the vintage G.I. Joe toys, designing us a vintage, well, modern vintage, whatever, of a, it's going to be the ICCC Red Guard. So it's, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but when you see it, it's bonkers. There you go, Ron Rudat. Yeah, but he even made the Cobra symbol. Ron Rudat's a cool dude, man. If you ever want to talk to him, Ron's great.
I've talked to Ron repeatedly. Ron is actually Leatherneck from G.I. Joe.
Oh God, look at me. Go look around your graphic. I didn't even announce Ron Rudat yet. I just blew a spoiler in the middle of your thing here. Well, I guess you guys get an extra one. People? Ron Rudat's coming to ICCC.
You get an extra.
Oh no!
Fooled you. No, but
fooled you.
But that's absolutely great. I love talking to Ron. The last I saw Ron, I happened upon a little con outside of like right at the Dallas Fort Worth airport.
Nice.
I was coming back from another con, and there was like a G.I. Joe con there, and it had Ron and Larry Hama and a lot of the original Joe toy designers, and it's just like I must stop here.
Well, see, we love the toy designers too. We got a bunch of Kenner ones. We got G.I. Joe. Yeah, we got even guys that have made like Nerf guns and Strawberry Shortcake and up and down the spectrum. We love toy designers because to come up with something out of a hunk of clay that ends up turning into, I don't know, vintage Boba Fett, it's pretty freaking amazing, man.
Ooh, Spencer.
Oh, look at me. I'm Spencer.
You're Spencer. Yeah.
All right. As of right now, everything for Keep Virtual Cantina is 1,000,000% off. And everybody can go for free forever and whatever you want. And we will be giving away real life-size Millennium Falcons at Boonta Eve. That's a promise from me, Spencer. So.
Oh, now this.
Let's hope he doesn't pop up in the ICCC one. He can cost me a lot of money.
Stated by Mike while he's Spencer, may or may not.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, no, I mean your toy designers are great. Jim Swearingen I've met before. I've got
He's awesome.
His signature on the original 12, the background display.
Oh yeah. The first 12 stand.
Appreciate about him is that he looked at that when I brought him to sign it, and he's like, I'm not gonna sign that. And I'm like, no. This is a replica. It's the 02 version. It's not the original. He would not sign the original.
Yeah, he won't mess up your collectible. Well, you know what's awesome about Jim Swearingen? I don't know if you heard this story from him, if you caught his panel or anything, but Jim Swearingen's the reason why we have Star Wars toys. What happened is Star Wars, they were trying to get the toys made. They sent it out to every company on the planet. It ended up on Bernie Loomis's desk at Kenner. Bernie Loomis was going to throw it in the garbage because he's like, what do people want? Some sci-fi show toys, you know? And he was going to throw it in the garbage. And Jim Swearingen said, hey, would you mind if I read that? And Bernie was like, I don't care. I'm going to throw it out. And then the next day, Jim Swearingen came in, put that script on his desk, and he said, we have to make these toys. And they were the very first company ever to literally sell a piece of paper that said, we promise we'll get you toys later. So Kenner is no joke, man. You flip over a card back, that Collect All 96, that was their idea, and that is about the best marketing idea in the history of the world. They literally put a checklist on the back of the card back of every single figure for you.
And the fact that like so many of those were like kit bashed from other figures and things that they had laying around in the trash at Kenner. It's like, oh, let's take a piece of this, piece of that.
Yeah, half of them, they were like half Action Man at the time. The Jawa, his robe was made out of the dude's sock, you know? It's like, but they made it happen, man. I love the Kenner stories. We have Freddie, what's his name? Freddie Tomlin that's coming this year. And he's awesome, man. I met him up at OneCon up in Canada. And he's sculpted a lot of things like the ATST. That was his sculpt, stuff like that. But he was talking about one story about how at Kenner, they were having a meeting. And one of the other guys, I can't remember who it was, and I'm not going to quote it because. But what he said is what they did is they took the bottom of the Easy Bake Oven because they had a whole bunch of flash powder that they were using for like some kind of picture or something they were doing, and so they filled one of the canisters of the Easy Bake Oven, turned it on, shoved it into a room where they were having a meeting, and then it just blew up flash powder in the meeting room with like all the heads of Kenner and everything, like doing the designs for next year. But they really goofed around a lot. He said, and so they kicked it out of the meeting room and it burnt a giant hole in the carpet, right?
Oh.
But so what happened is they were sitting there and all these Kenner designers and stuff were doing their very, very best to repaint the blue carpet blue so it matched enough and looked proper because the boss was away for the week. So they tried to cover it up by just like mimicking it with paint.
Oh, well, and I bet they could probably match and paint them up.
Yeah.
Thomas, the card backs on the moderns are just like it's not the same. I mean, this is a Cara Dune that I'm sitting here, and it's the larger size, but that's a great card back, but it's not.
It's beautiful, but what else do you collect in the set? You got to get on the internet to find out.
It's not the same, and it's not this either, which like I've had since 1984 because look at the content that's on there. You hold on to something like that.
Actually, the card back for our the Ron Rudat pre-order figure is it has a really awesome file card, man. It's really, really nice. Like when you guys see it, you're gonna love the Reservoir Dogs ones because they just look so smooth. You know what I mean? Like they're even shiny. They got their shiny suits on, man. They look so great. But that Mando one, because here I'll give you another spoiler here. But for the Ron Rudat Star Wars mashup one, Ron Rudat, for the first time in a very, very, very long time, created the cover art from scratch. So the actual cover art on the front of the card is a Ron Rudat original piece of art.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
It's nice, man. Like it's going to come out and their mind are going to get blown because that's the thing. There's wonderful figures, there's wonderful customs, but especially with the Hasbro stuff, sometimes they miss things or I don't know, man. You remember when they took away our bubbles for like a year?
Oh,
and it's like, man, you're making a plastic figure out of plastic with plastic, and then you're going to just take away what like makes us want to keep it?
Like, I just about stopped getting Black Series when...
dude, I hear you. I got that black Boba Fett that looks like he's out of like Lord of the Rings or something. And it's an awesome figure. I absolutely hate it. The figure gets dust on it in the box.
Well, they pissed me off to no end, because there's certain figures that came out during that period that I had to have.
Yep.
The large Sergeant Slaughter.
Yep.
Well, I had to buy like 2 of them, because there's one that I've got to leave in the box and I had Sarge sign, but then I want to see the figure. So
I hear you, dude. No, that was crazy. You know what else was crazy for them? You remember when they sent the Jabba sail barge? And there was no tape sealing the box. Every Jabba sail barge came to you opened.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Why? Like, literally, it's like, what? 1/10 of 100th of a cent of Scotch tape makes that a collectible?
Yeah.
I don't know. That drove me really nuts, because I bought one to keep in the box and I bought one to open. And then I opened it, and the other one's also open. So what does it even matter? So now I just got an extra of the same thing.
Well, you didn't do bad there, because those are appreciate.
Did they go up? Oh, I don't even know. I very seldom sell modern.
Those already are sitting in toy store shelves for like vintage. They're pricey.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I had no idea. Well, then, all right, I'll stop complaining. But they should have still put a piece of tape on it. I bet you they'd be double the price with a piece of tape on it.
Possibly.
I've gone to cons where I've seen Razor Crest for $3,000, and I've seen cons that have had it for $500.
Well, that's the thing about those. They are worth what someone will pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, is like this I took out to have signed and kept the box, and I may display it like this. I may put it back in the box.
I don't have my Razor Crest displayed, and I bought them the same as the sail barge. I bought 2.
Yeah.
I opened it. I checked it out. It's very cool, but they exploded it before they sent it to me.
Yes. Yeah.
Which was like kind of like a really not nice thing to do, you know? But whatever. I don't know. Did you see the preview videos or whatever for next Mando?
Oh yeah, from D23. I saw a clip there.
Yeah. Looks like there's a Razor Crest there. I don't know if there is or not, but sure look like it.
Looks like Zeb is flying as a Razor Crest.
Yeah, yeah.
But
there's a Razor Crest right there, flying on off.
Really great story.
At our last Boonta Eve, the Razor Crest looks so cool in a lot of the models. It was just done with freaking aluminum tape.
That's cool.
Like, yeah. Oh,
so,
maybe.
Man, I didn't really love that he had the Darksaber here.
Oh, I freaked the hell out when I saw
that. Was one of those things where when you're watching it with people that are not deep in the lore, where you now spent the next 20 minutes explaining this entire thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, also, technically, so right this very second, he's king of the Mandalorians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He is. But I mean, I
guess lived, but still,
level of if you don't have a large gathering of Mandalorian, you're king, but nobody knows it.
Right.
Right. So a great story of that John Goodson told us in San Francisco was when he got the script of the episode where they blew up the Razor Crest. As Papa Razor Crest, he went up to Dave Filoni and was like, "You just killed off one of your main characters. You really gonna do that?" He's like, "Well, we already shot the scene," and he's like, "Ah." It's like destroying, like you're teasing, destroying the Falcon all the time, blow that ship out of the sky.
Yeah,
that would be killing the main character of Star Wars if you destroy the Falcon.
Yeah, they can't blow up the Falcon, but still, they blew up the Razor Crest. I think that you know what, I got to throw it out there. I love the Mandalorian. I do. I think blowing up the Razor Crest was a mistake. That thing was right on its way to go straight to being the next Millennium Falcon. People really loved it. It was like the love for the Ghost, but it wasn't a cartoon.
Right. Which I can't wait till I get my Ghost.
Yeah, dude, me too. I've been waiting forever. Yeah. I got 2 of those too, so it better come with a piece of tape on it. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Like IKEA is going to have a huge explosion in popularity of like large open coffee tables when those suckers come out.
Yeah.
Everybody needs like a glass box coffee table now.
Oh yeah. Well, they did I heard the Deltoffs are on their last leg. They're going to stop carrying them at IKEA. So what are we going to do? I don't know. But those are really convenient.
So we just announced a little while ago that John Goodson and Lauren Vogt from ILM are going to be at Boonta Eve Nashville on October the 5th. Don't forget, pre-orders go on sale tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern. We will have a post up on our page as well as on the ICCC page. So make sure you get a hold of that, along with tickets for Boonta Eve as well as our T-shirt. Mike might have leaked another name that he did not mean to a few minutes ago. I'm not going to say that name because you have to rewind it back if you want to actually hear who that person is. But
I'll give you this.
It's just because it was a bunch of nerds talking about toys and new customs and stuff, and it just leaked out, man. It's late at night. You guys are keeping me up late. That's what the problem is.
I know. So
past my bedtime. What do I know what I'm talking about?
Mike's going to announce another name, and we're very proud of this guest that they're going to announce because this is not only a personal friend of the Virtual Cantina Network, but also was a gentleman who we had at our Boonta Eve Anaheim event 2 weeks ago. So, Mike,
nice.
Why don't you play?
Yeah, we're going to be bringing out another Rebel character, John Morton. He's Dak from Empire Strikes Back. He is also Bespin Boba Fett. So we always have at least one Boba Fett in there. I'm a huge Boba Fett collector. So yeah, he's Bespin Boba Fett. He's also Dak. And he's been in a bunch of other stuff too. But great choice. I'm really excited to meet him. I've heard great stories from him and stuff like that. So I think I'm super excited about him. And plus he rounds out our Rebel pilots there. So that's one of the other ones that maybe might be coming in a specialized photo op with multiple Rebel pilots you never see.
Very nice.
John is a gentleman scholar.
He is really great. I've met him before. We've got him on that right there, your Bespin Boba.
Nice.
And then that's one of those others that if you're gonna get, you got to go down the rabbit hole and have him sign like repeatedly multiple things, because we also have this.
Nice. The snow speeder. Yep.
Yeah. And the snow speeder that this particular version actually comes with Luke and Dak is actually in there as well.
Well, he's also got his figure there too. But yeah, I always like to make sure there's a toy to get signed. I always like to have everybody has a toy.
Yeah, so here's a great trivia about John Morton. When he first started acting, he was a crewman for the Rocky Horror Show in London. And that's how he got his start, was because he was hanging around with Meatloaf and Tim Curry when they were doing on the West End Rocky Horror as a follow spot operator.
That's crazy. A lot of those guys came from that, man. Tim Dry, who played Whipwood, whatchamacallit, Sean Crawford, who played Yakface.
Also,
they were TikTok. Have you ever looked them up?
Yeah. Also,
as TikTok, the
guy who played Cliff Clavin, John Ratzenberger.
John Ratzenberger, yeah. He's also the pig in Toy Story. He's massive.
Oh yeah,
heck of a career.
He did Rocky Horror with Morton, so they were all friends. Wild. When one got called for Empire, he called up his buddy and said, "Hey, come on with me," and got these things. So very much excited about this, because right there alone, you got Dak, you got Wedge, you got Gold Leader, right off the bat. You got, some great rebels, as Mike was talking about right
Biggs, Akbar. I got another rebel I can't tell you about yet, but I got to announce him.
But yeah,
and I don't know if he's ever even signed in America. This other one, but he's cool.
Biggs, there's not a black series, I don't think yet, but there's the Disneyland helmet is pretty darn close. It's got that checkerboard pattern on it. I think if you added the symbol in the front, you're pretty close. But yes, Tom, is John Goodson he's all over like that ILM documentary. He's definitely in there.
And if you haven't seen that ILM documentary, I mean, you should watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I think I've seen it 3-4 times actually. Because you get somebody visiting and you're like, have you seen this? And they're like, no. We're like, we're watching it.
Yes.
Absolutely. So like I said, if somebody brings in their HasLab Razor Crest and has it signed by Goodson and Brendan Wayne, I will buy you your first lower shelf drink.
I like it.
Wait, if you rewind, you legally not be able to hold him to that because he didn't say that before.
Yeah, valid.
Say top shelf to me. I'm like, damn, now they're going for Johnny Walker Black.
Yeah, but you didn't say the well either. And you know what? There's sometimes really expensive bottles of champagne on the bottom shelf of that fridge.
Get them there.
Okay, we're in Nashville.
Ultra qualifying. Drinks from the well.
I'll bring you some moonshine. How's that?
There you go. That's one thing we got, man.
Yes, indeed. Nashville can take care of that.
We're very excited about that. We're very excited. So, bring your dance shoes on, do some karaoke, get some autographs, get some dual signs with Amy Allen as well as Brendan Wayne with our guest from Boonta Eve. This is going to be one hell of a party in Nashville in 44 days.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No, it's going to be a great time, and I'm super duper excited for it to be happening. And I love seeing everybody, and I love when everybody comes down. And I don't know, man, there aren't too many things anymore where there's no pressure. There's just hanging out and a bunch of fans being fans. And I don't know, you hang out with all the people that think about the same things as you or collect the same things as you. It's something real special. A lot of conventions out there aren't as geared to collectors as ours are.
So, Ryan, as we talked earlier, there are send-ins for this.
Is there what? I'm sorry.
Is Ryan's asking any chance that there will be a send-in service?
Yes, absolutely, Ryan. If you go on to ICCC, icnashville.com or Imperial Commissary Collectors Convention.com, ICCC, anything like that, go to autographs. And there are pre-orders. There is also a send-in service for all of the guest stars. Well, all of the guest stars except Billy D. Williams, technically, but join the IC and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Also, tomorrow we'll be announcing our send-in for Boonta Eve.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, this isn't a corporate convention, and I'm buddies with these guys here. So you want a cross-promotion sign thing, or you want something signed by them. I mean, they're going to be walking around these guest stars all the time anyway. I'm sure they'll help you out.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop you. Go nuts, man. Whatever you guys want. You know how it is.
That's a heck of an idea there, Tom. I want to say that our friends at De Nuo Novo have a blank Rebel pilot helmet that you can customize with any. They have multiple stickers or whatever that you could just do kind of leave it blank or just put a couple of Rebel symbols on it, and you could get all these guys on that. So,
you could go over to the badge artist from this year, Jeremiah, and with shells, he paints a lot of paintings and stuff. But I have one from the first year of ICCC, and it's an AT-AT, but a shell, like a beater AT-AT from the vintage ones, and it's all spray painted in custom spray paint. So it's kind of like something Sabine would do. I mean, Sabine up an X-Wing helmet and get a bunch of signatures. But no, we're really cool with it, and all these guys here will help you, and I'll help you. And yeah, definitely, do your send-ins, but you should come. It's the ultimate sleepover for Star Wars nerds. We got 4 days of hanging out together, and I'm fired up for it.
Yeah, and even if you're like doing other stuff, I have a prior commitment on like the first part of the weekend, but I'm rolling in. Nashville is so centrally located to the East Coast; it's less than an hour flight, and I'm going to do my event the day. I'm going to roll in for Boonta Eve, and then I've got Sunday to be at the con proper, and it's any of the time you can get will be cool.
Well, that's why we do it for the 4 days, is because sometimes people can't make it on the Friday. Sometimes people got to leave on the Sunday. And it was just tough because Saturday was like the only day that everybody can make it kind of deal. And then Saturday just gets so packed. So with the 4 days, you're able to spread it out. That way the VIPs can still have their early access to absolutely everything. And the early bird shoppers can go find the ultra rare toys before the slackers like Dave show up on Saturday night.
Just saying.
I know.
No,
that is actually a thing, because one of the issues of a comic that I was looking for last year literally sold like hours before I got
it. That's the worst, man.
And Lonnie, don't you tell me it's too far for you West Coast folks. I just spent 10 days on your coast coming out there to do events.
It's a 4-hour flight. I mean, not trying to be that guy, but it's a 4-hour flight from California to Nashville. If that's too far for you, then I don't know what to tell you.
I literally was at Logan Airport at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, flew to the West Coast, grabbed the rental car, and went directly to San Diego Comic-Con. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that about that. I went to the biggest con in the world after flying all morning, so don't want to hear it at all.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, from where are you in? Where are you? A 10-hour flight. Alaska?
Troy is Montana, so pretty darn close.
Montana? It's not a 10-hour flight.
Well,
dude, Montana, it's like an hour and 45 minutes to Nashville. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but by the time that you get from where he is to there, and
well.
Yes, I mean, but no, very excited about that. Very excited about the big hangout. For years we've heard, we have multiple friends who are involved with ICCC and have been trying to get us to come out there. And right after Dave and Skip went last year, we got to get involved next year. So we're coming in.
Well, I'm glad you guys did. I'm glad when you reached out. I actually used the story about you reaching out because I'm like, and he called me up and he was like, well, we could figure out how to get the space and do this for the space or do that for the space. And I'm like, you can do whatever you want, man. What did I tell you? I said, no porn, no drugs. You'll be fine.
Well, that's great.
But we're an easy con, man. We want more of us, and you guys are definitely just like us. So you're gonna fit right in. You're gonna love it.
I'm stoked. Like so here's a funny story. So my wife doesn't like going to cons at all. But when the moment she heard that we were going to Nashville, she's like, I'm going to Broadway. I'm like, that's fine. You go to Broadway. I'm going to go have fun with my nerds. So
it's 8 minutes away, man, and it's the safest place in the world. No, I'm telling you, I think a lot of the collectors that come to this convention really get away with that. I have one guy, he comes every year, comes from New York. The family comes every year, and the family goes to because there's this massive indoor water park at Gaylord Opryland, like 5 minutes away. So they all go there all day. The kids get tired out, and then mom goes honky tonking at night, and dad meets her later, and it's hilarious. I think Nashville sells half of the tickets because, dude, Nashville is like the most fun place in the world. Wait till you check it out. It's so fun.
There's a lot of craziness right down the street from you because you're right down the street from Opryland.
Yeah.
Is the mall.
See, Opryland's about 15 minutes north of Nashville.
Yeah.
And we are dead center between Nashville and Opryland. So it's 8 minutes to Opryland, 8 minutes to downtown Nashville. It's crazy, man. And if you've never been in the Opryland, Gaylord Opryland Hotel, it's the largest hotel without a casino in the world. Yeah. And they have a full-size, like, Typhoon Lagoon-size water park in that thing. It's bonkers. You walk around, it's like, I don't know, you know those spaceships you see in sci-fi movies where it's like the entire spaceship is an entire city with, like, grass and trees, and that's exactly like Opryland. It's like you're outside, but you're inside a giant building.
So it's basically Flotsam Paradise. Got it. Understand.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Great. So we also could we move this to tomorrow, Mark? We gotta. Some of us have to like recoup funds from a week in California, man. But before we go on to play, all the things going on this weekend in Chicago is Fan Expo Chicago. Our good boys, members Skip and Joanna are running a great meetup as part of Fan Expo Chicago at the Red Bar at the Hyatt Regency on Saturday. So if you're out there going to meet Mark and a whole bunch of great actors, go see them there. Also in 2 weeks is...
If they have Gina and Mark at the same place, don't they explode or something?
I don't know.
Isn't there like a rule with that? Like, fire and gasoline or something?
No, they can always put people on the
I
other
just
side
saw him there in the same picture, and I just thought that was funny. Sorry, go ahead.
Also, you will be at Colorado Springs Comic-Con in 2 weeks over at the Trinity. So Juan and Bree will be running our meetup over there. So we're very excited about that. And don't forget as well, we announced as part of Celebration Japan, we announced Not So Virtual Cantina 3, going to be emanating from the Appa Hotel rooftop bar, which is 50th floor overlooking Chiba. The night before Celebration, we will not be hosting a Boonta, but we'll be having the Not So Virtual Cantina. So come out, have a couple of drinks, do some swag trading, get to know your VC family. Come meet Mike Havens. Mike will hopefully be there.
Yeah, I'll come out to that. Yeah, for sure.
Come hang out.
I still got to figure out a hotel that's going to fit my 6'8" body.
Those beds are tiny.
Because I'm 6'8", man. I don't think there's anyone in Japan that's 6'8".
No, but we're going to have an absolutely fantastic time in Japan. But once again, if you can't make it to Japan, you can't make it to these other cons, the last Boonta Eve special edition, the fourth one of the year, is happening in 44 days at ICCC. Mike, give us the elevator pitch.
For ICCCon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's movie stars, it's collectible toys. It's it's a sleepover from when like you were a little kid, except with a bunch of adults that all love the same stuff as you. It's a big hangout. The guest stars love hanging out. It's not like other conventions. We do have weird stuff. We had a zoo one year. We have laser tag this year, so you can go outside and play. It's not all about the bottom line. It's about having a really good time.
Are you having the aerialists on the ropes and stuff this year?
Aerialists on ropes. What do you mean?
Didn't you have aerobatic in the air dancers or something
Oh yeah, they're actually the night before you guys. They're the Friday night entertainment. It's the aerial skywalkers, and last I heard from them, they do a whole burlesque show and everything at night. It's bonkers. Wait till you see. And the last I heard from them is she was asking me if it's okay to use fire. And I said, I don't think so. My insurance doesn't cover it. And she said, I'll go ask the hotel if they'll let me do it. So that's all I know. But no, and we have live bands outside, even going into the night. So it's really like an all-night party. And we aren't restrictive like other places. We don't mind if you come down and in your hotel room and you come out, we have lobby sales at night, and it's essentially an entire another convention. My dream was always to throw a convention where everybody could attend because it was affordable, which we've done. We also want to have one where my personal thing is I want everybody to come to ICCCon and be able to sell enough stuff where it costs them zero money and they have the best weekend of their life. So that's why, bring some toys, bring whatever. You do the room sales at night after the convention closes. We don't have people do it. There you go, Mark. And Mark is a great supporter. He always gives me likes and stuff. I recognize your profile picture, man. But yeah, it's a super fun time, and it doesn't fit into the box of regular Comic-Cons. Even though I personally love regular Comic-Cons, but it's more, I don't know. It's just, it's a hangout. It's a sleepover from when you were a little kid, but for some reason it's happening to a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's cool, man. But you got to experience it for yourself and just see what it's about. It's different.
We call this the Renaissance of the Geek. this is definitely the time where everything that we grew up on is cool again. The thing was, it was cool back then too. So,
yeah.
No, I can tell you a great story. So when I was in college, I went to Curry College up here in Boston. And I was at KB Toy Stores at the South Shore Plaza Mall in Braintree. And I was walking through the toy section, obviously, with my roommate. And they re-released the Voltron Lions. It was like Renaissance there. Mm-hmm. And the kid said to his mother, "Look, Mommy, a cheap imitation of the Power Rangers." I said to my roommate, "Hold me back. I'm going to go." Yeah. Look at Dave's face. I said to my roommate, "Hold me back or drag me out of this place." Because I'm going to do. Yes. But seriously, Dave, did we see in California? We saw like the Lions, and we had like a whole conversation about what.
Oh, the Lions are back. They had a huge like 6-foot lion Voltron at the booth at San Diego.
That's cool.
Yeah, we were just sitting there talking about.
I got a Voltron literally right here. My Voltron's right there. Here, I can grab it. Hold on.
Mine's over there.
Wasn't that like the NECA booth we saw at Dave?
It might have been. Yeah.
There you go.
That's the one right there.
Oh yeah. He's nice.
Hey, look, it's
yeah,
Kevin
man.
Lyle.
Love me some Voltron.
Hey, Kevin. How are you? One of the ICCC artists, as well as one of the hosts on the main panels.
Kevin's great. Kevin's the reason why we got together, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's been talking to us for years that we had to come out to Nashville.
Kevin's a great supporter, man. I really like him. He's a good guy. Troublemaker, so I like him even more because of that. No?
Yep. No, it's going to be a lot of great stuff, but we're looking forward to it. Before we close out, Dave, what's going on the network?
So much stuff going on the network, as always. Is this weekend we have a new episode of the Jedi Archives. Those guys are going to be back. And then Monday, we're in the countdown now, people. We're in the countdown to the last episode of Rebels Revisited, sadly. But it will be being replaced by Clone Wars Revisited. So, don't clear your schedule on Monday nights yet. But for this one, you got to be there. They are doing the best of Hondo Onaka. Okay, that promises to get a little out of control because Hondo is just that way. And then, of course, on Tuesday nights, come join us live on the Zoom. You want to talk about all things geek, Star Wars, the whole deal. We don't just talk Star Wars. It's hanging out for hours upon hours. People from the East Coast, the West Coast, people pop in from Australia, and occasionally the ever elusive Geo from London. So it's a big time. So join us there as always on the Zoom.
And then next week,
page right about the time.
And then on the watch along next week, we're going to be watching the episode 1 of season 2 Mandalorian. So we're going to do the first and the last episode of the shows just to do as a recap to figure out, wow, how much information do we know now that was like,
Oh, yeah. It's going back and looking at these episodes with the things that that's coming on, that's coming up. That's good stuff.
I actually forgot to hit pause, so I just watched it. It was great. I like it.
No spoilers, Mike.
Okay.
Yes, After Hours does need to return. But anyway, first and foremost, Mike, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And, we announced, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 guests.
4 guest stars, yeah. Oh, gee whiz, that means I have to wake up early in the morning and make more blog posts.
Oh. But don't forget that you can now pre-order your autographs for ICCC and do your send-ins. And tomorrow, pre-sales start for Boonta Eve. The tickets, autographs, and our merchandise. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern. You can get the link not only from the virtual cantina, but also up on Mike's pages with the ICC con.
If you just check out icnashville.com, I'll link it all up down there and stuff like that too.
Well, I sent you everything you
But
need.
I didn't want to announce anything like that until we had all your dates and times and posters and stuff. But we'll hook it all up, man, and I'll tell everybody about it for sure. And plus, the room sales are down there, and it's like 20 feet from the bar, so you'll have plenty of people. Don't you worry.
Come sing a song. Come get some autographs. Come hang out with the Virtual Cantina family. We'll also be, like I mentioned, we'll have a nice table, which Mark Truax, who's in our chat right now, is designing our table as we speak. We got some great swag and a whole bunch of stuff to advertise the VCN. Very excited. But Mike, once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a really incredible episode.
Thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate it, Spencer, Dave. It's always a great time. And thanks a lot for having me on, and I'll see you guys in October.
Looking forward to it. So from Mike, Dave, and this is Spencer saying, may the force be with you, and we'll see you in ICCC Con.
This is the way.